Hey folks, it's Adge back again, part 2 of this episode. In part 1 we'd set all this up, started to grow the economy. We were going to put an oil industry in St. Louis, but the AI put a furniture making factory in there instead, which has dramatically increased the price that we'd have to pay, because we'd have to buy that at auction. No doubt Beatrix would put her bids in to drive the price up as well. Then we'd have to scrap it for X hundreds of thousands, and then pay the 500,000 on top of all of that to get the refinery in. So I'm going to abort that plan. I wasn't quick enough, which is very annoying. What I am going to do is, rather than suffer the same fate up in Rochester, is I'm going to go in now and get a steel industry in place. There, so good. Rochester's sorted. Now we'll put a station in. We'll go for a large one to begin with. Well, I'd say begin with, it's not like I can expand it any further than that. So we'll put a large one down, and then we'll put our stations against these industries here. I wonder if a large... No, it's too far. Okay, so we'll just go for the smaller ones. Put them both in. And we'll bring these lines down to start bringing the goods in to get the steel produced. So there we go. And he can go into platform number 2. 191,000. Okay. Was there a tunnel there? No, there wasn't. So I thought I saw a tunnel. Let's have a look. There's no office personnel to pick up. There's not. It's a market cry for 40,000, which will increase either mail or passengers. Do you know what, we'll go for that. We'll go for the passengers. So we're now hitting 49,000. We need 190 for this. So we need to wait around a bit more, but the money does grow faster now because we've got more trains scattered around the place. Obviously that means we've got a more regular flow of trains sitting in a station somewhere along the network and dropping off its goods. So that's why our money's growing faster, which is nice. But I'm sure you all knew that. Let's get increased mail profits. Okay, so we've got the money for that now. We want to go ahead and add a parallel line alongside it, so we can have multiple trains running here without any dramas. 122,000 this time, so obviously saving money on the bridge. So far things looking pretty good. Now we're getting a bottleneck here. Now, because it's all going to one platform, that's unavoidable for the time being. And I really need to start getting this oil, the steel and oil brought in, so I'll tend to that later. Now I could make it more efficient right now, so I'll get the money faster, but I want to focus on this for the time being, so you'll have to wait. So we'll put a supply tower, say, there. Then I want to start the trains rolling. To begin with, I'm going to use 2. And I'll use the Berkshire because it's a faster train. Let's put... Oh, sorry, I already put the station there, didn't I? Happy days. So let's bring him down. Not quite parallel in the proper term, but we'll run... Excuse me. We'll run alongside him. Ooh. So that's 186 for that line, that's fine. Let's have another look here. See, the fact that they're having to have maintenance here is slowing them down as well, but we'll live with it. It's not going to cause us to fail the mission at this point, I don't think. As I said, the main thing for now is getting the steel industry running. Getting that steel shipped into Chicago, making money there. And then we want to look at getting an oil industry. So 40,000, that needs to double in size. That only needs an extra 12,000, so that's probably where I'm going to put it. I'm going to go into Colombia, because I'll get there, I'll hit that 40,000 target a little bit quicker. Okay, so that's both tracks now laid on to both industries, so that's good. Now what we want to do is get a supply tower on this line and then run the trains in. Accelerated maintenance, yes, it'd be foolish not to go for that, I think. We'd also be foolish not to exploit this. But yeah, put it in. Why does that not registering? Why is that not picking that up as connected? Tell you what, let me just put a train on that run. Just the one. That's very annoying. Anyway, so let's put a supply tower on this second line now. And then let's get 2 trains running iron ore into Rochester. Again, I'm going to use the Berkshire. Get a maintenance building in place in Rochester. And then get a station in Chicago to accept, or to be the drop-off point for the steel. So that's platform 1 and 2, so he can go into platform 4. Okay, so the money is being spent on the bridge. I wonder if we can just cut him down in size a bit. That's down to 250, 245, 239. That'll do, 239. So we need to wait for the money to build up for that. Then once we've got that in, I'm going to lay down the track to Toledo from Chicago. Obviously we won't be producing automobiles yet because we haven't got no oil coming in, sorry, no gasoline coming in. But we'll have the foundations ready for when it does. So it's just wait for that money to come in. Colombia is still growing naturally because it's got access to a lot of raw materials over land, relatively nearby, I should say. So I think it is going to be Colombia where we go ahead and put the... what's he waiting for? Why? Ah, that's why. I forgot to reset my signals, didn't I? Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. He can't be one way. Extra revenue. So let's put that line down. And for the time being, I'm just going to leave it to have 1. Because, there's no gasoline yet, so it's not going to have a massive demand for steel in this city. But it should be enough just to keep us going, so to speak. Station master, is he going to be quicker turnaround? Oh, shorter maintenance, even better. And it's a she. How dare I? Very presumptive of me. Okay, so we've had a bond mature. So now's an ideal time to issue another one. Now, to buy that would cost 385. There's no chance in hell Beatrix is not gonna bid as well to drive up the price. So we definitely want to scrap the idea of putting our refinery in St. Louis. Which is frustrating, because the slot is there ready to go, but I can't do anything with it. Let's get just the one train for now, running between these two. I should put a supply tower down though. Now what I do want to do is put some maintenance buildings on the outlying industries. So the trains are just as likely to be repaired up here rather than clogging up the station in the city, so that's always good. Okay, so Rochester to Des Moines, Des Moines to... In fact, no, I'll go via Rock Island. So let's get a station in Rock Island. We'll bring him into Chicago. He can have... You can share that one platform on, that's fine. Can always move him around later on if we need to, which... In fact, no, he can't do that. We'll leave him there for now. We're going to expand this station to 2 platforms. And instead, run him into this station. So I need to keep one of these open for the oil, sorry, the petroleum. That's more important, so we'll do it that way instead. Now we'll double track him straight away. It's a beer meat line, so it'll be quite profitable. There we go, 92,000 for that, that's no problem. Then put the signals on the run. Gonna put them backwards to my normal convention, but that's no problem. And set up a couple of trains to start with.
Bother you that my spy took a quick look around your research department.
And then from Rock Island head down to Columbia, which is still slowly growing. So I'll get the money together to expand down that way. Extra profits on the mail transport, that's not to be sniffed at really. So that's Columbia with it ready to go, so put a station there. Go ahead and put a maintenance building there as well. And then run this track down, sorry, over to Rock Island. There we go. Just adjust that because that's a bit squiff. There we go. 127,000, okay. You see, this was what I was talking about earlier, but just slow it down. He is waiting to be loaded. Now, my guess is, yes, it's not waiting on production because it's got 9 out of 9. It's fully ready to go. What he is waiting on is here. We've got a load of coal already in place. The warehouse is probably full. So, why is that steel industry not using it? Why is that slowed down? Because it can't do much with it here yet. without the gasoline, it's, you know, we can't do much without steel. It's just going to be sat there waiting. So that's why you want to get these shipped out as quickly as you can and get the gasoline bought up so everything's flowing smoothly. Obviously, for the time being, can't do much about it, but that's what I was talking about at the start of the first episode. I'm sure that if it didn't make sense before, hopefully it does now. It is something you have to bear in mind on this game. It's an extra little challenge to think about and to try and resolve. Okay, so that's that line ready. So I get the trains rolling. We'll have 4. There's one that's not been copied yet. Need to wait for the money to accumulate once again. There we go. What we're also going to do is copy these because we left this at 2 to start with. Actually want more than 2. There, that's plenty. Lovely, lovely, lovely. In fact, what I want to do now, let the money accumulate while that grows. So as soon as it hits 40,000, I want to have enough to get that oil industry in place straight away. Now to facilitate that money growth, what I want to do is start supplying some of these other cities with materials needed for their industries. So, for example, the meat industry in Chicago needs cattle. So I'm linking this up now to start feeding it cattle. Just reset the signals again. There we go. And we'll try and get a passing lane on this side. There we go. So let's put, say, 3 trains down here. This could have the added bonus of helping Chicago grow because it will be hitting one of its key demands. Rock Island, you want some wheat, do you? Okay. Just utilize the existing track. Reset the signals afterwards. Get that second strip of track so they can pass each other over here as well, so they don't block up the main line. There we go. Then let's start getting this wheat shipped in quickly. Okay. The next thing, what's the personnel? Oh, nothing next, all just train personnel. Not really fussed about that one, so I'm not going to use my money there. Oh, supply tower, okay. Get that put down. So 5,000 more to go. Lovely. So you've got your wheat coming in. There's double the amount of trains coming here because it's run out of wheat for the time being, so obviously it's not getting its demand fully met. In fact, let's have 3. We set the meat up for you. You're going to need some wheat as well, so got some wheat here. All of this, of course, will probably have to be ripped up and started again once I start looking at their warehouses, but that's fine. At that point, we should have more than enough money to spare. Are all my signals still good on these lines? I think they are. I think I did go through and make sure they were reset. Okay. Now the reason I put a load down on this one is because as the trains are coming back into this station, they're not going to have any wagons attached. It's just going to be the locomotive, so they take up less space. So I've got no danger of them, overlapping blocks or overlapping onto the main line. So I've put a couple down on there. Gets them all off the main line. So that's 2. And that's 3. Now one thing I'm going to want to do at some point is buy up these industries here, this gasoline industry, this toy making industry, and replace them with something more beneficial, or more useful considering what's in the local area. For example, we could have a weaving factory in Indianapolis because we've got the cotton here. We could have a weaving factory here, we've got the cotton there. That'll help us meet our supply demands, and it'll also create artificial demand for goods like cotton that wouldn't not ordinarily be in demand in that city.
I had biscuit today for lunch.
Okay, so we're getting close to hitting the 40,000. There's no bond I can pay back quickly. Fortunately, the AI, as in the private investors rather than your competitor, they generally don't put a station down immediately. Sorry, an industry down
That is a good idea.
immediately. So I've got a bit of time before they consider putting an industry in place. So that's fine. So why is he one way? I know why, because there's no crossover yet. It's going to have to be this side of the supply tower, but that's not a major problem really. There we go. Start bringing this fruit into Chicago to help Chicago grow. So what was all that? Oh, I think that was just express line because faster trains were available. Extra ticket prices, extra money, yep, why wouldn't I? Okay, now we have enough to get the industry down in Columbia when it grows.
Oh, it looks like one of your trains has a problem.
Are they on a collision course? Yes, they are. See, I thought he would be seen as clear. Ah, damn. So he can't pull forward because that train is... Okay then, no problem. We'll just reduce the number of trains on this track. Pity, but it's better than having them sat there who bugger all. Come on, Columbia. Come on. Just 150 people. Have them babies. There we go. Refinery, straight away. Quick, quick, quick. There we go. Bang. Okay, that's done. Next thing I want to do is expand this station for the extra platform. Head down to here. Get this oil moving quickly. So we've got till the end of next year to get this steel moving. Obviously once the automobile actually starts producing automobiles and they start getting shipped to Toledo, that steel demand will increase massively in Rochester, so that shouldn't be a problem, I hope. No thank you, bridge, not at all. $117, that's fine. Let's put a second line down. And a supply tower roughly halfway. And get these trains rolling. So that's 3. Next line we want to do is from Columbia to Chicago to get the oil shipped. Sorry, the petroleum shipped to Chicago. So let's start laying this track down. Skirt around that wheat farm. Tell you what, just go into platform 1, that's fine. I can live with it. There's going to be that much track between these cities that shouldn't have too much bunching up waiting for the platform to become available, but we'll see. What we want to do afterwards is all these single tracks between Rochester and Chicago, and then Chicago and Toledo. I want to double them up as well, because now we're going to have some real output from these cities. So we need to get the money for that. So it's 205 for this bit of return track, plus say 60,000 for 2 supply towers, then your trains. It's expensive. Let's start our signal system. Let's put 1 supply tower there. And another one there. Oh, I can't afford it. Okay, now we can. There. So your priority is gasoline. and then the ones from the other direction. Again, in Columbia, you want gasoline. Obviously, it's not going to be exclusively gasoline, but that will be its first choice of material. Next, parallel this track, the one from Rochester. $205,000, okay. Let's have a look at our research while we're waiting. More profits. Got a supply tower in place already, that's fantastic. So, we could start cloning him now. So we'll have 3 from Rochester. We'll have 3 from Chicago. 2, 3, so 6 there in total. Next is this line here, the one out to Toledo. This now needs doubling. $144, okay. There we go. Let's put the signals down. And again, get the money to start copying this train a few times. So that's 3 from Chicago. And then we'll have 3 from Toledo.
Seems to be a little problem with one of your locomotives.
Come on. 2, 3. Okay, so we've got missing supplies here, so we'll get 30,000, put a supply tower just on this little bit of track. Or, even better, put it on this bit of track, because why not? What else we got? Missing equipment on this line. There, you're sorted. Missing equipment on this line. Bring another one up there. Okay, so that's the steel now being used and shipped out to here. Let's add another 2 lines on, another 2 trains on this gasoline run. Let's add a couple more trains on the oil run. So what's the bottleneck here now? Okay. It is the demand inside of the city. That should start to alleviate now. We've got these trains running to and fro. And the automobiles being shipped out to Toledo. So he's being serviced, okay. There's a service station there as well, so that's okay. I get these trains leaving this to have a look. So look, the automobiles are starting to be deployed. We've still got 12 months to hit 30 loads of steel. Now the problem isn't our supply, we've got plenty of supply here. The problem is clearly here. So do you know what? Let's add even more. Now we could even make these freight only, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's slow this down. Freight only. We'll do this for all of them. So rather than leaving full of mail, I'd be more inclined to leave full of steel. Okay, that's all trains now set to freight only. Okay. So, how's this looking? Plenty of supply of oil. And if we just check some of the trains heading towards Chicago, they are shipping gasoline. Not much gasoline, but they are shipping it. So, to work on that, I am going to expand this industry. I mean, it is running at full tilt, 100% capacity. What I also want to do, just have a quick look at the research first. No, nothing yet. Is have a look at my city list. Start with Chicago. Let's have a look inside. So 99,000. Let's go ahead and put a museum down. Help it, reduce that growth threshold. So that's Chicago. Columbia 51,000. Rochester 60,000. Yeah, you can have another. You can have a museum too. Again, this just lowers the what do they call it? Let me have a look. The fulfillment of demand. It lowers that by 10%, so it grows faster. So that's Rochester. Toledo, can't put anything there because it's got that automobile warehouse. So my next biggest candidate, I think, was Columbia. Now Columbia's also got a meat industry in it, so let's go ahead. You seriously gonna make me put it on that side? Oh, Jesus. Not to worry, not to worry. What we can do. Come on, pull in, pull in, pull in. There we go. Take him to platform 4 instead. And then from platform 2, which is now available, we can start bringing in cattle. There we go. Didn't see that little bit of bridge there, but never mind, we've got plenty of money to spare. Okay, you need a supply tower as well. And then we'll say 8. And we'll have 2 trains. It's only a short run. Okay guys, I'll pause it here for a second. We'll leave this episode here. Pick it up in part 3. I think we're looking good. Just check the tasks. We're just over halfway to the steel target. I think we should be okay now that these automobiles are starting to flow out into Toledo. It's a bit of a mess in terms of the lines. We've got lines everywhere. We are going to have to tidy all this up because we need to start. The next thing we want to focus on is growing Toledo, so we need to bring in loads of resources to Toledo, and we'll probably do that, as I said in episode 1, via a warehouse. Chicago, as it stands, that should start pushing 120, so that'll be one of our cities. Obviously Toledo will be a second city because we need to get it to 200,000, so naturally it's got to go past 120. And the one we'll focus on after that is Columbia, and both Columbia and Rochester. Again, they've both got quite a decent supply of materials around in the surrounding area, so it makes good sense. So yeah, that's part 2 concluded. Hopefully in part 3 we'll tick off these next 2 objectives. and then we can press on with the city growth, and we should be good from there here on out. So thanks for watching, guys. Oh, she's just stuck a pissing station there. Jesus Christ. Never mind. Right, she's being bought up quickly because she just gets on my nerves. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. I will catch you in part 3.